So our first product today is the Orlando Pita Satin Pillow Overnight Hair Care Mask. Um, so I have very similar to my skin. You guys have heard me say this like pretty much every single week, but I have very dry skin and very dry hair, nails, kind of all those things. So for me, and honestly, just I think for any hair type, having like one hair mask that you really, really love on hand to kind of help re-nourish and replenish your hair is super, super important. That goes whether you have color treated hair, fine hair, thick hair, if you use heat tools regularly. I don't. I just have super damaged hair from years of like dyeing my hair and being a swimmer in chlorine. So I don't really use any heat tools, but I do have kind of a little bit more dry, brittle hair. So if you have any of those concerns or just kind of want to increase your shine and make sure you have really nice, healthy hair, definitely recommend having a hair mask in your arsenal that you love and helps kind of replenish everything. So this hair mask in particular is awesome because it's an overnight mask, so which means you can really just use it for any amount of time that you want. So you can use it minimum, I would say, of like 10 minutes. So before you get in the shower, you can put it in and rinse it off within 10 minutes if that's like the only time you have. Or you can do what I did today, which is I got up this morning, I put it in my hair, which the amount you use per person will be different per person based on like your hair texture and how much hair you have and the thickness. For me, it's probably like, I don't know, like a hand scoop with all my fingers. And I like to run it through all of my hair. And I don't go all the way to the top of my head personally, because that area is typically a little bit more greasy. I don't necessarily need to have like extra hydration near the top because that's the healthiest hair typically. So I like to start here where my hair starts to be a little bit more damaged, and just run it through all of my hair, particularly focusing on the ends. Again, totally up to you. You could do just the ends, halfway, the whole head. Really just depends what you want. And then I put my hair in a messy bun or a ponytail. And then today I just worked all day with that, letting it soak in, all the like nourishing oils and hydration, just really working their magic on my hair. And then after work, I worked out again, kept it in, all good. And then after working out, I just hopped in the shower and rinsed it out. So my hair is still drying now. But I had it in basically all day. And it's super comfortable just putting your hair in a ponytail and not having to worry about it. It smells amazing. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like sugary and floral, maybe. The texture is like a thick, I'm trying to think of it, like a thick pudding would be the right word. And super, super soft, creamy, easy to run through your hair. Really, really easy to use. Another way that I like to use it if I'm like running errands or anything like that, again, I'll just kind of put it in while I go run errands or anything like that. And no one would be any of the wiser that you have like a hair mask in your hair. Also, personally, like this hair look doesn't look great on me, but if you are a fan of that like really awesome like model slicked bun or ponytail, which I can't pull off, but I'm sure some of you can. This is actually a great product to use to both achieve that like slicked bun hair look and also nourish your hair. And that's a great like no shower day hack. So if you were to do that, you would just want to run it through your hair. And then when you like slick back your ponytail and brush it through, add a little bit more on the top. And then you have a perfect like slicked back bun that also hydrates your hair. And then when you go home, you can shower it off super easily. When I shower it off, I don't typically use shampoo and conditioner as well. Shampoo would essentially like strip down some of that moisture that the mask has added, because what the mask is doing is hydrating and providing intense like moisture and shine and nutrients, like a booster for your hair. So shampoo will strip that down a little bit. So personally, I don't use that, but I do put it on clean hair. And then conditioner, don't really need it because you just gave your hair a mask treatment. So it should be like, focusing on the same things that conditioner does, but in a more intense way. So yeah, those are some like really easy ways to use it. Also, if you want to use it the intended way, which is overnight, which is also super, super easy. It does dry down significantly, so it's not going to be like all over your pillow if you put it on in advance before bed and let it dry a little bit. But what I like to do if I'm using it overnight is I will put down either a towel on my pillowcase, or if I have laundry day coming up the next day, I'll just do my normal pillowcase. Would not recommend doing it on a silk pillowcase because it will look a little greasy. But feel free to use a cotton pillowcase or anything that you have, and then just throw it in the wash the next morning. Another thing you can do is if you have a shower cap or sustainable shower cap that you feel comfortable sleeping in, that helps really seal in the moisture, and your hair will be like 100 times more shiny if you're able to do that, because you're really trapping in the moisture and the mask is soaking in without, um, you know, like going into the air or anything like that. So that's another really good way of doing it. And if you have one that you're comfortable sleeping in, should be super, super easy, and you'll apply it basically the exact same way, run it through your hair, put your hair up in a shower cap, fall asleep, wake up, and rinse it out, and it should be very, very straightforward. Yeah, so those are, guess what, 3 ways, 4 ways, 5 ways that you can use it. Personally, I like having it on during the day and just kind of going about my day, but totally depends on like what time of day you typically like to shower, whether that's morning or night. I'm a night shower because I work out in the evenings. But this mask is amazing. I've tried a lot of different hair masks, and what I think makes this one really special and different is sometimes your hair, bear with me if this description doesn't make sense to you, can feel like almost overhydrated and too clean, and it makes your hair kind of frizzy and it slips through your fingers, and it loses a bit of its texture, or it feels heavy, or a little bit greasy almost from like so much added moisture to it that it doesn't sit right in your hair. And this one is really, really hydrating, but also really light. So it's not going to add any of that weight or heaviness to your hair. It's not going to give any sort of greasiness, which is also something I know I'm sure all of us like want to avoid. No one likes having like greasy feeling hair. So it's really, really nice. It's really easy to wash out. And again, I've tried many, many hair masks where after I take it out, my hair just doesn't feel like my hair. So this adds a really good layer of moisture and shine. And I would say for how many times to use it, it's totally up to you, but I do it about once a week. And that kind of takes place of one of my like conditioner rounds. But again, totally up to you and your hair kind of goals and what you're doing to your hair that might need it to have some more hydration and shine. But yeah, they say use once a week. That's kind of what I do. But you could also do it as like a special thing for your hair. It's also really nice if you have like an event the next day, or you're going to something where you want to look really nice. I don't know if that's a wedding or something else. And you can do it the night before, and your hair will be like extra voluminous and glowy and beautiful. So that's a really good tip. Another final tip on how I like to use this, which potentially a little bit less relevant now, depending on how much you're traveling during COVID. But during flights, our skin and hair gets really, really dry from travel. I'm sure you guys have all experienced that, where your skin just feels like super, super parched. So of course you should be hydrating on your flights. And I love sheet masks and eye gels for flights, but what can you do for your hair? And hair mask is actually perfect. Because no matter how long your flight is, what I like to do before a flight, I will pack eye gels with me, and then would not be carry-on friendly, but you don't need to bring the whole thing. All you have to do is before your flight, before you head out the door, apply it all over, throw it in that messy bun, get to the airport, go through TSA, do your whole flight, whatever, leave it in. And then I typically, the first thing I want to do when I get somewhere is shower. And then you can just rinse it off. So that's a really, really great way to keep your hair really healthy and hydrated. And again, what I really love about hair masks is you can fit it into your day any way that you want, whether that's your work day, your errands, while you sleep, while you travel, anything like that. And no one's going to know that you are giving your hair an amazing treatment. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Orlando Pita Play Satin Pillow Overnight Mask. If you have any questions about this product, please drop them in the chat and I will circle back to them at the end if you just like come up with a new question about this product. Okay, now we're going to jump into our second product, which is the Realm Concept Market 7 Layers of Heaven Hair Serum. Say that 10 times fast. I'm